go. Get ready to have a good time. This is exciting, isn't it?
All right, we're on. Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Hear ye, hear ye! Where are my party people at?
Garry.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Garry. But wait, there's more.
Let's do it.
He's Garry Meier.
Ho, 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 GarrForce. Yes, it's Santa Pickering again with the GarryMeierShow Cocktail Hour live, coming to you on December 10th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, 4 Mountain, 3 Pacific, 2 Alaska, and 1 Melakalikimaka, Hawaii.
Tis 2 weeks until Christmas and all through the land. Everybody should be shopping, so why not lend old Santa a hand? The GarrForce coffee mugs and t-shirts from GarryMeyer.com make lovely gifts, don't you know? And premium podcast subscribers avoid the naughty list, ho ho.
Wheels up! Where's my cocktail? Huh? Christmas cocktail for Santa? Not asking for much. Milk and cookies over it.
Cocktails, woo, drinks.
No matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. For those new to the show, Garry podcasts 5 days a week. Tuesday and Thursday podcasts are available to premium subscribers. Listen to free shows and sign up for premium shows at GarryMeyer.com, where you'll also find Gary's blog and merchandise. Friday's Cocktail Hour live shows stream free right here. Comments are welcome on all of our live streaming channels, and you can also text us at 773-888-2157. Regular charges may apply. All of our past live shows are available on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel. We also recommend it as the best place to stream when we're live. Please take a moment now to subscribe on YouTube. It's free, and if you click that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, you can be notified when we're live. Like and share the show on all of your favorite social media channels, too. If you've done that already, thanks. Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Hey, thank you, Alan Delenka. Appreciate it. All right, this show, first of all, let me do what I got to do here. I got to kick the tires, light the fires, and get wheels up. And then Leslie's going to release the wine condom in just a second. But I got to tell you, I know I say this every week. There they are, the tires, the fires. And a tire fire, those last forever. That's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark. This show, I think you're going to really, really like it. And I'm not doing a Steve Harvey where we got a good one for you today and I have no idea. I know because of the guest lineup we have on this program. We've got Gregg Potter and Cathy Rich. Gregg is the drummer for the Buddy Rich Band. Cathy is the songstress for the band. She is the daughter of Buddy Rich. And then later in the program, Bill Leff, who is the cartoon curator for the great morning show on MeTV, Tune In With MeTV, and Bill and his puppet, the tuna puppet, and it's just fantastic. And he shows classic cartoons. We'll talk with Bill in just a few minutes. But before the show, we were meeting, and it looks like there's going to be a collectible band of Battle of the Bands, because Gregg has stuff, toys, and oh my God, Bill Leff, he's got an amazing collection of different things, and we're going to show some of that in the hour here. So that's all ready to go. And then Ryan will report from Wisconsin. I believe Alan is in Maui. Keith, he's in trouble, and he likes being in trouble. And we'll talk to all these people in the next, I think it's going to be longer than 60 minutes. I might have to notify my affiliates down the line that we're going to run long already, but that doesn't matter. We're here to have a good time. Leslie, why don't you release the wine condom and get this thing started?
We're doing a Sauvignon Blanc today, and we do have some pressure built up.
All right, here goes the wine condom. Here it goes. Yeah.
Ready?
Whoa.
Ready?
Oh! That thing went real far. That popped
That's
across the room.
And I haven't even tried the sparkling wines yet. So, hey, cheers.
Cheers. I got a Manhattan going. I'm not pacing. I'm already halfway down on this thing. I got to check in with people who've already gone into the comment section. And Kellyanne is usually the first to come on to the comment section. Can we put her comment on the screen, please, Keith and Alan, because it's a good one and it's holiday flavored. I saw a nativity scene with baby Jesus being cradled by Mary's inflatable schnauzer. We might be going to hell for that right there. But these inflatable decorations, they're the worst. I don't know why people have them, because during the day when they're not inflated, they look like lawn puke. They're the worst.
I saw one of Clark Griswold where he's getting electrocuted.
Oh, really?
And it really is kind of unsightly, but it was in front of a generator store. So the tie-in, I gave him approval. I said,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
that's okay.
All right. So you got Kellyanne, as I mentioned. You've got Simon from Wilmington, North Carolina. Johnny from Michigan. Russell, Michael. David has a question for Greg Potter. He wants to know if Greg knows the Potamus family, and I'll ask Greg that in just a couple of minutes. Let me go to the screen door because I want to talk to people through the screen door. You got Chris, David, Anthony, Michael from Orland Park, Illinois, Stephen from Palos Park, Doug, Ryan, and Dieter Sturm, the Academy Award-winning Dieter Sturm, who makes snow for movies, TV shows, commercials. He's the best at it.
He's going to be in hot demand this winter because they're saying there's a dearth of snow. Yeah.
No, there's a dearth, and they need Dieter. When you have a dearth, get Dieter. And Scott and Dan, Anthony, everybody's checking in. Dan from Streamwood, Illinois. Everybody from around the country, around the world. Welcome, one and all. I always do yard work when I can on Fridays to get myself ready for this. I don't know what the continuity is of yard work and this, but it makes me get into a Zen mode, and I clean gutters and I blew leaves. Watch your mouth.
And then you lit tires and fires and boy.
So that's how I get in the mood, and then I'm ready to have some cocktails and have some fun. And you will have some things that you've assembled to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got kind of an animal stories groove going here, so I'll have that later on.
Okay, and we're going to give away a wine condom and a GarrForce scarf.
Right here.
There it is. There's a scarf still in its package.
And there's your wine condom.
There's the wine condom. The scarves provided by David Hochberg from Team Hochberg. He funded that. He was my sugar daddy back in the radio days, because the radio station, oddly enough, their marketing department didn't have any money. Why do you have a marketing department if you can't spend money? So David would step up and he would pay to give away this stuff. He would help me give away this stuff. He's the best. All right. Wow. Are you ready to go? I know you're excited because you saw what was going on before we started here, and a lot of visual stuff today.
Yeah, and themes. It's really funny because you didn't plan this with a theme. It just started to evolve.
Yeah.
And the connectivity between these people and you guys, it's going to be really cool.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you see what we got here. All right. Let's bring on Greg Potter and Cathy Rich. Greg, as I mentioned, there they are. Oh, a couple things. A few hours ago, I texted Greg and I said, listen, just to remind you, he's been on before with Cathy. It's a cocktail show. And he replied, we're already drunk. That was 2 hours ago. That's the spirit.
That's the kind of guy you want.
Yeah, and then I texted Bill Leff and I said, it's a cocktail show. He said, I think I can find something. And he has. And we'll talk to him about what he's drinking in just a few minutes. All right, Greg, you have, look at this. You have what in your hand there, Cathy?
That's pretty.
Boom. Yeah, we have these special drinks. I mean,
special drinks.
Because we're actually working on something
cheers,
here.
Garry.
Here, pull out that prop that I have for my guy here.
Oh, cheers.
Mm-hmm.
What are you working on there?
So check
this
out.
out.
Just funny that you, again,
that this is a
how
drink
this all
show.
happened to be a cocktail show.
Check this out. Look at that.
What is that?
Buddy Rich 8-piece
cocktail kit.
Okay, that's
That's
nice.
cool.
What's it? That's for sale right now.
Well,
it's in the development.
You
process.
guys are seeing it before.
You're seeing it before the world sees it. This is just
What
kind
would be
of a
in that?
prototype. Funny you should ask.
But we've already changed the
Yes, it's going to look like
a snare drum.
It's going to look like a snare
instead
drum
of
now
this.
instead of this cylinder.
Cool.
It's actually going to be a snare drum.
It's going to be a snare drum with the items to make
So
this.
you have wine openers, you have stirrers, you have anything that you need for your bar, and it's all engraved with Buddy's logo.
Nice.
Which is very cool.
Everything gets Buddy Rich on it.
Yes.
And then it all comes out April 2022, April 2nd.
We'll have to have you guys back when you have the finished product.
We're definitely going to come back and see you before then. We're
Yes.
going to be playing in Hollywood at the Whiskey A
world-famous
Go-Go.
Whiskey A
The
Go-Go.
first time the big Buddy recorded an album there in 1969 called Buddy and Soul. And so that would have been the first time they let, that Whiskey A Go-Go is famous for what, the Doors and Van Halen. So here, Buddy Rich would have been at during the Doors time, but this will be the first time they allow a big band with horns, our group, back into the whiskey. So that'll be
swinging.
that'll be
swinging.
cool.
Okay,
April 2nd.
Here's the bit. Buddy Rich is from an era that I wish I was too young to really be in it, but the Rat Pack, Sinatra, Dean Martin, that whole thing about let's have a good time, ring a ding ding, have some cocktails. That's what I'm trying to replicate here. And and Buddy was from that era, and he's on the Mount Rushmore of drummers, along with, and we should have our Mount Rushmore. Let's talk about who would be on the Mount Rushmore of his genre, and then rock genre. It would be Gene Krupa, Buddy, right?
Gene, Buddy. Well, there are guys that go even further back.
Right.
That Buddy listened to, like way back in the day, that nobody probably has even heard of, like Chick Webb, Dave Tuff. Those are all people that were
But if you went with that era, like where we're from, it's going to be Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, Louis Bellson, and like say Max Roach or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right. Because whereas Buddy has his
kind of
career
spanned all
spans
of
so
that.
long that people from the 30s or 40s, but then you have younger people, 70s and 80s got to see Buddy, and no one's really come along, in sports. Remember when we had this guy named Michael Jordan? It was like, that was the only thing. Now not that people have replaced him, and I'm saying with Buddy, you still get, it's like, so if it was Mount Rushmore, it would really be, Buddy would be on the top of Mount Everest because people still aspire to this guy's, what he did.
All these years later.
Right. So you meet, like if we did this Mount Rushmore, because we meet, Cathy's met everybody, but I've met everybody through it. Just, I don't know, the drummer from Black Sabbath, Bill Ward. You may not necessarily know him, but here's this band, this icon, Ian Pace from Deep Purple, these iconic rock drummers. And when they meet Cathy and start talking about Buddy Rich, they revert back to like they were 9 or something. Like John Bonham was friends with Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. And he said, oh yeah, Bonzo and I would get the Buddy album and then set our 2 drum sets up and just try to replicate it. You wouldn't think like you guys invented, well, he was not there, but you invented Black Sabbath, and and the guy that invented Led Zeppelin were trying to, because back then you didn't have, now you would just pull up a video on your phone and go, oh, Buddy's doing that. But back then you would hear these records and Buddy's, it sounded like there was just so much going on, whatever. So Mount Rushmore wise, it's Buddy, and then
everyone else.
I have to say that. Call me when Cathy goes in another room.
And
I should be on it.
And Gregg and I have known each other for 35 years or so.
Wow.
And
yes.
Gregg was the drummer in a band that we had when we were doing the radio show. And then how did you meet Buddy Rich's daughter here? This iconic, you're a drummer, and then you go and meet the offspring, the only offspring of this incredible drummer. How did that happen?
The whole thing is just completely ironic. How we met, how he was a fan of Buddy's through his childhood into his adulthood,
No,
And
Garry would have talked to me about Buddy when I was.
We met. I was producing a concert after my dad had passed away. I started doing the Buddy Rich Memorial concerts, and at this particular concert, Neil Peart from Rush. It was the first time he had ever done anything outside of Rush, and so it was a huge deal. And Gregg came to that show, and we met backstage at that show.
Wow,
crazy! And remained friends
Yeah,
throughout.
I just stalked her like a, at this point, you'd probably be, I would be in jail or I'd be on the ID channel. But so what? I mean, it's like, you should see her phone. It lights up like, well, Neil Peart has passed away. But I mean, basically, she knows every drummer in the world. If they're living, and then even they die, she still knew them. But so every drummer knows Cathy Rich because everyone's trying to get like, could you please just tell me how your father did this? Or,
no, I can't.
And like, no. I mean, that wasn't it. So actually, when we get into our collectibles war later, she was more interested in my Creature from the Black Lagoon collectible or
We're
something
both horror
than
fans
about
and movies and nothing that had to do with
nothing to do with the band. And I mean, we talked about Buddy, of course. Buddy.
So was the Buddy Rich band still intact when you two met? What was the whole situation as far as the band went at that point?
It's funny because right before my dad passed away, he asked me to do a couple of things. And one of them was to try and keep the band going, keep the music playing, and do something for young people. So it took, the scholarship shows were great, but it was one event a year. And I think his idea was more to take the band out on the road and do something like that. So it took a while to figure that out. And then when Gregg and I got together, we said, what if we just went into a studio and recorded some tunes with the band and see what that sounds like? And we did, and it was great. He had never played big band jazz before, maybe in high school, but it just kind of all clicked. And we got home that night and an agent called and said, do you want to go on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it was that quick. I mean,
it was really
because
fast.
when Cathy did do these, they were the Buddy Rich Memorial concerts, and basically what she got were 10 of the hottest drummers of whatever. What was the first concert? Whatever. So you'd have Neil Peart from Rush, you'd have Simon
Chad
Phillips,
Smith
who was playing Chad
Chili
Smith,
Peppers,
right, and all these jazz greats. People wanted to watch these rock drummers pound through this stuff. I know you can't use the word pound because Buddy Rich referred to the drums as an instrument. You don't pound it, you play it, whatever. Right. But I'm just saying people love to watch
the rock guys
play through this. So that was where, and because my background was, of course I studied and I've played, but I mean, I didn't grow up wanting to become this big band drummer but on the other hand, it just worked. It evolved into that. And another thing that Buddy appreciated was playing for younger people. Now, saying the word big band in front of anyone under 50, they're going to go, big band? You mean you got a lot of guys in it? Right. I mean, when you start explaining horns. And so I'm saying we wanted this stuff to skew younger to get younger people interested in the form, and then it's for Buddy too. I mean, as much
that's
as
really the bottom line is that this is what he asked me to do, and
right.
He was the greatest dad you could ever ask for. So it's the least I can do to give that back to him. Yes,
my dad's pretty good.
Yeah.
As it turns out, I saw Buddy and his band in 1969 at a place in Frankfort, Illinois. There was a club out there called Valley View, and when I saw that Buddy was coming through, I thought, oh my God, he's in my neighborhood. And Buddy was one of the primo guests on the Johnny Carson show. Buddy was in that top 10 of you want to watch when Buddy's on. And I became familiar with him through that. I knew of him because of being in a band and everything, and the drummer's talking about Buddy. Right. But he comes through Frankfort, Illinois, and I was just blown away. And I've told you this before.
Yes.
He comes on stage. It's the middle of summer. He comes on stage and he says, I'm going to throw another log on the air conditioning and we'll get started. And I'll never forget that. And I told you, Gregg and Cathy, that. And it's something that you like to throw back at me once in a while, too.
I know, but I told you that I was at that.
And you were there.
That's
you were what,
so
12
crazy.
or 13?
I was like kid, like young, 12 or 13.
And then she tells the story of whoever owned the joint had a 16-year-old son or something. So then Cathy hangs out, stays.
I asked my
But-
dad, I'm like, the people that owned it were great
Very
people.
nice, but you wanted to
And they
hang out?
asked, they said, let Buddy go on. You stay, because they had this
He
huge
had the
pool.
huge swimming pool.
Right.
And it was like a kind
So
of
I
like
stayed there for like 3 days.
And Buddy came back and
And
like
he came back with the bus and picked me up.
he
and
played
off we went.
Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, or something,
And then
but
came
then
back.
came back through and picked Cathy up. I
Wow.
mean, so she hung out for a while.
Yes, the place was awesome.
It was.
She said,
It was.
then
And they
we
had
drove-
all these A+ acts coming through in this southwest suburban Chicago, southwest
It was
suburban
literally the
little
middle
club.
of nowhere. Right.
Yeah.
It was, it was
we
like a
drove
big
out there.
barn.
Yeah,
Yes.
Remember, it was called the
Right?
Beat Barn or something.
Something
That-
like
Yes.
that.
was
We
a-
went out there last year to have a look.
Remember,
to
we
see if it
called
was
you.
still
I
there.
called you from there, and I was like, because now it's just the parking lot.
It's a parking
Right. The
lot
barn.
and-
It's-
One of the buildings burned down many years ago, and
Yeah.
but boy, that was a moment. And you and I,
It's so
Cathy,
crazy.
were within 15 yards of each other. We didn't
Yes.
know that years later
did not
would
know.
intersect. But so
that's
you
so
have
crazy.
something coming up in the Chicago area that you're playing, right?
We do.
Yes, we're taking a Christmas show out this time. This is territory we've never,
Ventured into.
Us and Johnny Mathis are. I like to drop names
Those are
from
names
the
that
60s
yeah,
and
nobody
70s. 'cause
really. Right. I think Johnny Mathis just played here.
I just saw it on the
Yes.
Rosemont Theater
Yes.
thing, so I saw.
But yes.
But yeah, we're doing a Christmas show at the
December 19th.
I have to justify every comment to Cathy to make
not
sure it
true.
passes the lawyer.
Okay.
At the Des Plaines Theater.
Yes.
Des Plaines,
December
Illinois.
19th.
Because
Yes.
we're talking to people around.
that's
the
right.
world
Des
here.
Plaines, Illinois.
Des Plaines, Illinois. So any of our
All the
Chicago friends
people.
or Indiana, you could drive down from Wisconsin.
You could.
Sure.
But a Christmas show, it's going to be like a whole extravaganza, the whole 18-piece Buddy Rich big band machine.
Oh yeah.
The whole band's going to be there. Of course, some Christmas.
Fun Christmas.
We have some fun Christmas
things,
excitement.
Some surprises.
Kathy, you're
but we-
singing?
I'm
Oh.
singing. I'm singing more than I think I've ever sung in my life for this show.
Christmas music.
Like lots of Christmas stuff and some surprise things, and yeah, it's going to be fun.
Right.
Really fun. Looking forward to it.
So along
Right.
with giving away your like the scarves or whatever treats you're giving away, how can we set this up? We could
We
give
can
some
give some
tickets,
tickets
if you,
away.
if we
Oh.
can give you some tickets and you can
Call in.
Sure. We'll put that in
Text in.
the prize
Yeah.
package. we're
However
gonna
you
give
do it.
away. So
be cool.
we'll just add that into the scarf and the condom. Now that's a prize package.
I was just going to say, if you could come see Cathy and Gregg, wear a condom and be warm, it's going to be good.
There you
know what I
go.
mean? 'Cause then do you still need the mask if you're wearing a condom? I don't know.
Face condom.
And have you been? What is that?
Hold on a second. Obviously, her and Andrew Dice Clay are.
I've been drinking all afternoon.
Oh, that's true too.
I don't.
Good thing
Hey,
you told her it's a.
I don't
it's a
blame you
show.
for that. These are drinking days. So
certainly
we'll put that in with the wine condom and the
Cheers.
scarf and
Yes.
a pair of tickets to your show in Des Plaines,
Yes.
Illinois, if you're in the Chicago area
Yes,
on December
next-
19th, a Christmas show.
Yes.
Sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds
Thank you.
very
That
good.
would be
That'd be a blast.
That would be great. And, anyone that's and we're going to probably have to invite Bill Leff, but he has to bring us like a Disney
Okay.
character, or he has a nice monster collection. He might have
Okay.
to bring us a.
Here's
creature
what
from
I'm
the
gonna
Black
do.
Lagoon. Yes.
I'm going to bring you back in a few minutes when Bill
Okay.
comes on, because I know you're a collector of stuff too. And Bill will show us some things from his collection that is just
Insane.
Yeah,
amazing.
real nice.
Yeah.
And we'll have you two have a little dialogue.
Dueling collectibles.
Yes. All right. So we'll talk to you
Yes.
again in a few minutes.
Okay.
Greg Potter, Cathy Rich. Wow. I'd love to start mid-afternoon, really, on Fridays, Leslie, drinking, but I don't know, by showtime that could be a problem.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then the show ran 4 hours. It was very confusing for everyone who tuned in.
There you
But,
go.
Since we're talking a lot of condom talk, I think this might be the perfect time to thank Tracy from Wisconsin for a gift that arrived. And it's really funny because it's this box. It felt really light,
Mhm.
and I didn't know where it came from until I opened it up and got scared, because those are Hooter heaters.
Hooter heaters. So you wear
And I
those.
guess when you live in Wisconsin, this is the only way to get by. And it's really cute because it's got like all the comments on the back here. Every winter, I fear I'm one icy blast away from a double dose of frostbite on the Twin Peaks. No more nipsicles thanks to my Hooter heaters, says Mandy.
It couldn't been a hooter there. Wow.
So thank you, Tracy.
Christmas morning, Leslie, you got to come down with just those and some painties. And there you go. There's your Christmas morning.
There, that's it.
That's it. That's it. Tim, Merry Christmas.
Be careful with the hot cocoa. Yeah, you could burn something.
Yeah, Santa was here. Look what he left. Woohoo! All right. Let me take care of the sponsors right now, because when we get rolling here, I might phase out and forget the most important things. It's the premium members who've signed up for the extra shows, and Bettenhausen Automotive. Let's hear from them, because
for more than 60 years, Bettenhausen Automotive has been committed to providing the best sales and service experience in the Chicagoland area. Bettenhausen has hundreds of new vehicles in stock with no hassle and no haggle. Get the best financing and lease deals of the year during the Big Finish 2021 event going on now. Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, more than an automotive retailer, a member of the community. Your best car buying experience starts now at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
I don't know if you were paying attention to the visuals there, but Denny Lane from Wings and the Moody Blues was at Bettenhausen. You were there with your husband, Tim, and I was there with my wife. And a number of years ago, he came out to, it was an homage to, which album was the anniversary happening of? It was one of the albums that Wings did. On Facebook today, I noticed that Denny was on there and said that Band on the Run came out 48 years ago.
Wow.
And he was paying homage to that. That was I believe, the biggest selling Wings album of all. And Denny was part of all of the Wings music for 10 years. Great guy. Very nice guy. All right. And if you need a mortgage, a refi, here's the guy to call. David Hochberg, we talked about him earlier. He's my sugar daddy. He provided the GarrForce scarves, and he does amazing things. Yes, with that and with mortgages and things. He does the refi and all the other things that you don't know about refining and mortgages. He knows, and his team knows. Please call him. He's helped a lot of my listeners over the years. There are the numbers on the screen, and you can't do any better. You call the bank, and it's Mr. Potter. I'm not going to give you any money. You don't need that bullshit. Call David. Skip all that wasted time right there. David Hochberg, Team Hochberg. Love him. All right.
You know, we should probably start queuing people up for the giveaway, because good golly, it's a good one this week, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got a couple.
On.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with a scarf. I'd be happy with a wine condom, but now we got those tickets to the concert in Des Plaines. Holy shnikes, man.
Come on.
So we're thinking hashtag Buddy Rich Band. That seems like a proper homage.
Let's do that. Hashtag Buddy Rich Band. Put that into the comments section right now. And at the end of the show, the computer will pick the winner of all that. There it is on the screen. Put that in there, and you'll be in the running for the stuff that we just mentioned. All right.
How many other podcasts, YouTube shows go giving away stuff like this?
Yeah,
This is
I know Joe
fabulous.
Rogan has a lot of viewers, but come on,
I don't
Joe.
see him giving away wine condoms.
No, he's giving away COVID advice. I don't do that. I don't care what you do. Do what you got to do.
No COVID. We are a no COVID zone.
No COVID.
Here.
I don't got time for that. All right. Bill Leff, you have probably seen him on MeTV hosting that great cartoon show, those classic cartoons. Bill and I worked in radio together. Bill and I grew up in the same southwest suburban town in Chicago, Oak Forest, and Bill sat behind my parents in church. I mean,
see, once again, like I said, there are all these weird little threads running through today's show.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Bill. You've been doing the show a year now. It's a big success, and MeTV is now syndicated across the country. I don't care where you live in this country, you probably have access to MeTV. And what I do is I watch Bill. That gets my TV warmed up, and then I go into a double beaver. They show 2 Leave It to Beavers back to back. That's a morning right there. How you doing, Bill?
Garry, if I can add another layer to the weirdness of the show, I just found out that I am the son of Buddy Rich.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
there it is. Kathy, meet your brother.
Let me show you my Buddy Rich collectibles. Oh, wait. No,
Yeah. Wait. Well, when Buddy dropped Cathy off in Frankfort, Illinois, and went away for 3 days, Bill, that's what happened. He made a bill.
My parents are Buddy Rich and Buddy Sorrell. That's my mom and dad.
There you go. It's a double buddy. So
how are you guys? It's great to see both of you.
Yes.
Good to see you.
we last visited when we were on a radio station that came in one day and said, you know what, you all are kind of too entertaining and we don't want that here. And they got rid of us. I got to ask you, Bill, is it better working with a puppet on TV than a real person on radio?
Boy, that's a tough one, Gary. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because on the show, my sidekick, Toonie the Tuna, is of course a puppet, but the character of Toonie has an aversion to puppets. Anytime I mention another puppet, like I'll talk about Lamb Chop or Howdy Doody, he just kind of coils because he hates puppets. So that's the added layer of entertainment we're providing.
And the person who does Toonie is from Oak Forest.
Yes.
I don't know what was in the water there that made us say, you know what, let's be in show business.
Well,
but
Kevin, it's really funny. Oak Forest turned out to be sort of a thriving artist community. We didn't know it when we were growing up there. But yeah, Kevin is from a mile away from where you and I live. So let me ask you this, and Leslie, I know you'll enjoy this. Gary, do you remember the very first time you and I ever met as kids? Do you remember that?
As kids?
Yes.
I do not. I'm sorry.
All right. So I used to play baseball in the cul-de-sac by your house. And I went to school with a kid named Scott Sawyer, who I'm sure you remember. He lived down the block from you.
All right.
And Wade Razudka, who always had a lot of built-up phlegm. Remember, he'd always talk like this.
Okay.
And we played baseball in the cul-de-sac. And when the ball would go on your yard, you would pick the ball up, look at it, and then throw it as far as you could the other way.
Okay. Here's the
You
bet.
son of a bitch.
Okay. Yes, our house was in center field of the cul-de-sac.
Yes.
And I would work on the lawn all the
Yes.
time. And I was very anal, as I think we all know by now. And
How old were you? You were 7, right? Or-
I was 9, but Gary was in high school.
I was in high school, and I thought there's a ball field somewhere down the block here. Why are you playing? And they would hit the ball and land, hit it against our house. And I'd sit there as that old man in the neighborhood that was always crotchety. And you're right. I'd throw the ball away. So they finally go and get tired of retrieving it.
Right.
And yeah, I was that guy. I'm sorry, but
No, don't be sorry, because the beauty of it was years later in high school, when I started listening to you on the loop, I'd say to myself, that can't be the same Garry Meier who would pick up our ball and throw it. This
No.
guy's hysterical. There's not a mean bone in his body.
I know.
And it is. It's you.
I don't know I mean, I'm really weird about the manor. I have to protect the manor, even though it was my parents' house. I was living there, and I worked a lot on that lawn. In fact, get this, we got a house beautification award one year.
Did you?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, because I would really, you remember the lawn and everything. I was always out there.
Meticulous.
Even after I moved out, I'd go back and work on that when my mother was living there, and I'd spend Saturdays just going through everything. I just like
Gary,
a nice
tell us
lawn.
the story about when you were cleaning oil off your neighbor's driveway.
Okay.
Did you?
Okay. Here, Bill, this will make you feel better as that incident probably you thought I was an asshole. Okay. I lived in a condo where we had all the garages next to each other and the driveways. It was one big driveway.
Yeah.
And the guy that lived next to me had his garage next to me, and his car leaked oil, and it drove me nuts, but I didn't want to be out there cleaning it and look like I'm anal retentive, even though I am. So at midnight, I'd wait until everything was quiet, and I'd go out there with my oil dry. One night, I'm out there scrubbing it, and he pulls in. And I'm like, now what do I don't know what I did to pretend like I was just out there. It's normal to be out here at midnight, kind of hanging out in the driveway. That's how crazy I am. I'm sorry, but you want me in your neighborhood because everything will be spit spot.
Oh, yeah. No question about
Right?
it.
Don't you like those kind of neighbors?
The best. The absolute best.
Wow. So tell me, let's talk about the road
Sure.
to MeTV, because it's pretty interesting how these things evolve and how you got this job.
I did an episode. MeTV has had a show on called Collector's Call for a couple of years now. And it's Lisa Welchill from Facts of Life, who did a great job the other day on the live rebroadcast of Facts of Life. So she hosts this show, and I was a guest on one episode because of my toy and action figure and memorabilia collection. And I just hit it off with the staff a lot. I got to know some of the producers and the people behind the scenes at MeTV. And they were kind enough to ask me to go to New York. Lisa was on the Today Show about a year ago talking about her show, Collector's Call, and they had me as a guest. And again, we just kind of all hit it off. And they sent me a note when they were casting for this show. They wouldn't say what the show was. All they said was, we're doing a TV show and we'd like you to come in and read for it. And I had no idea what the premise of the show was at all. and they knew that I'm a fanatic for old time television. And I read for it, and the reading went well, the audition went well, and they kept narrowing it down, and they had me read with other actors and actresses. And in the end, it came down to Kevin and Layla and myself. And it really, you always hear, it's kind of an axiom. People go, hey, how are things going? And people go, oh, living the dream. And they don't really mean it. I'm living the dream. I've always wanted to do exactly what I'm doing right now. It's amazing that it's come to fruition like this.
My dream would be, the first dream would be to host Family Feud. The second dream would be what you're doing, because come on, you got these classic cartoons, Bugs Bunny, it's all violence and anvils and shotgun blast to the face, the classic cartoons that you play with every day. And then you have a staff of people that you interface with on the show, and it's all fun to start your day.
We laughed so hard. The first 6 months, I felt guilty every day. I would come home and I'd feel guilty, because we literally laugh from the time we get there till the time we leave. I mean, the scripts are funny. The writing staff is second to none. The actors I'm fortunate enough to work with are so talented. And in my head, it plays out much like SCTV used to play out. They had this fake little station in Mellonville, Canada, and they were always producing new shows. And that's kind of the guise of what we're doing. We're a cartoon show, much the way there used to be when we were all kids with Ray Rayner and Bill Jackson and Cartoon Town. But we've taken it into the new century, and I just love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Can I ask who your audience is? Are you appealing to as many adults as you are to the kids, or are they watching it together?
I think we're appealing to more adults than kids. It looks like a kid's show when you look at it, but if you go back and look at Pee-wee's Playhouse or even The Simpsons, they look like kids shows, but the reference level is so high that it's adults that are enjoying most of the humor.
Yeah, that's what you need in a pandemic, this kind of comfort TV, which MeTV, I don't know what they're doing, but MeTV gives you in spades, because those classic TV shows, like I said, Leave It to Beaver, I need some Beaver in the morning, and that is coming off some cartoons. And what else can you ask for to start your day?
Garry, Neil Saban, who I know who runs the network, he started thinking of this about 7 or 8 years ago. And they would fine tune it a little bit and leave it alone, and fine tune it and leave it alone. And then when the pandemic hit, he and the rest of the brain trust at MeTV said, boy, if there was ever a time for this, it's right now. And they were right, because all the initial emails and texts and notes we got from people were, I've been miserable for 5 months, and all of a sudden you guys came along and I'm laughing every morning. And that's really what we were all hoping would happen.
And the Toonie
the tuna
is addicted to donuts. What's the addiction from? How did he get addicted to donuts?
that has so far remained undisclosed. We're all waiting to find out why he loves donuts. I think most fish enjoy pastries, don't they?
I'm sure they do. Okay. And I've had Rich Coe's Svengoolie on this program.
Yeah.
And it's a nice balance with you and Svengoolie. 10 years ago, I did a show on MeTV, and the premise was Kramer found the Merv Griffin set in a dumpster, brought it to his apartment, and replicated the Merv Griffin show. And then when he threw it away, I found it, and then I set it up, and I was going to do the show. And I thought it would play very well with what you're doing. It's kind of that, we know this is a joke. Mm-hmm. That's a joke.
Yeah.
And I got one show out of it, and they just didn't want to do it anymore. But I enjoyed the hell out of making that.
If you'd only had a puppet, Garry.
That's the key. You got to get a fish puppet.
Okay, here, my guest lineup for the show, the one I did was Svengoolie.
Yeah.
Brian Dennehy, Richard Lewis, and the woman who pulled the lottery balls, Linda
Kohlmeyer.
She was right. She pulled the balls.
Yeah.
And when you looked at a still shot of it, looked like the cover of Sgt. Pepper's. It really wasn't odd, but that's the beauty of it. You got Brian Dennehy sitting next to, say, a Svengoolie or Richard Lewis and a Svengoolie. That's gold, Jerry. Gold.
Linda, I worked with Linda for a while. I worked on that lottery show. I was the opening act. Like before they would actually film an episode, I would come out and I would do stuff with the audience for 20 minutes to get them kind of riled up. And Linda was so funny because she would try to do you remember when they would do this game show where they weren't just picking the lottery balls, but it was an actual game show? They did that for a couple of years. And Linda was so funny because from the time she would pick the throw a little fun fact out there. So I would come up with all these fun facts with her. Like she'd pull the ball and just go, an emu is a flightless bird from Australia. 7. The number is 7.
Yes. And I said on my radio show, I want to release a CD of all of her little phrases in between pulling the balls.
Yeah.
It's called Between the Balls.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I thought that was something. Okay.
The longest tire fire burned for
Right.
22 years. But
It was just little things like that. Yeah.
So this collection that you have that's in the background, can you do a little scan here and show people what you have? It's amazing. And
I would love to.
You said this is just a third. This room is just a third of your collection.
Right now I'm in my office. It's the toy room, but I call it my office so that it sounds like I know what I'm doing. And then downstairs we have a family room that's about twice the size and it's filled as well. But here's what I'll do. I'll just give you a quick run around, and if you see something you want to know more about, stop me.
Okay.
But, this case is all marked Disneykins from the 1960s. Then up here we've got everything from Groovy Ghoulies to Ronald McDonald, the Presidents of the United States, Banana Splits, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. There's the Peanuts characters. Those are space toys, H.R. Puffin stuff, Little Rascals.
Wow.
This is all Disney from Japan. Those are all the Simpsons figures. There's a Batcave down there, more Simpsons. I got Monsters over here. Captain Action on this side, more Disney. These are Eagle Moss statues from England. Star Wars over there. Here's the castle, Hogwarts from Harry Potter, made out of Legos over there. On this side, there's Mego figures. There's superpowers, a lot of Batman stuff from the TV series Batman, Pez dispensers, Green Hornet. Love the Green Hornet. There's some Seinfeld, medieval stuff, the Beatles over there. Star Trek.
These are not in boxes, a lot of them.
The stuff I have in here is not in boxes, but then the stuff I have inside in the toy room is, here's a Hot Wheels, Johnny West. This is the store display from Johnny West. More Captain Action, Matt Mason, Aurora Monsters, Johnny Quest, Hot Wheels, more Banana Splits, Bonanza.
Jesus.
Do you take them out and play with them ever, Bill?
Watch it.
I'm not allowed to disclose that, Leslie. It's a great question, but I can't talk about that.
How did this start, Bill?
You know, it started when I was very little. I loved the stuff, and I looked at toys as more of an art form than actually something to physically play with. I played with them, no question about it. But I always, when I was done, I was careful, and I put them back in the box. And I'd say to my parents, please never throw this stuff out because I want to have it as an adult. Because it reminded me, I had a very happy childhood, and it reminds me of being, 5, 6, 7 years old again.
Okay, and when you met your wife,
yes,
did you disclose this right away, or did you have to wait?
She knew right away, and I have to say, without her and without my daughter's approval, I'd be in serious trouble because I have so much of it, and they've been very, very kind. And I've talked to other collectors, and I've heard stories about you'll meet a woman or you'll meet a guy, and they'll go, this is not going up in my house. But
Right.
they've been very nice about it. Terry, my wife, actually said one time, she said, it's too bad you don't have a drug addiction because it'd be a much cheaper thing for us to handle.
Wow, that's a nice comment. Hey,
Or
honey,
donuts, maybe donuts.
Donuts would be
I
nice.
think you're going to get cocaine for Christmas. I really do.
Yeah.
This
So
is
wait.
you said this is a third of your collection, and there's another room. You live in a 2,000 square foot home. 1,500 square feet of it is all your stuff.
Yeah. Yep. That's the problem.
And when we were in the green room prior to the show, I said, oh my God, Bill, you're like the 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
And Steve Carell's character in the movie had all these collectibles, once again, in the boxes. But you said...
Well, Steve is a friend from Second City days. We all took classes together. My wife, Terry, is an actress, and she and I and Steve all studied together. And sometimes after class, he would go with us, and I would go toy hunting, and he'd go, what do you do with these toys? And I say, I collect them. I've got a room. At that time, it was just one smaller room than this. And he'd go, what do you do? And I go, I just display them in cases. And then when the movie came out, I talked to him and he goes, I'm anxious for you to see the movie because I think you'll recognize something in the movie. And it was the toy collection. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I have. I have a Schnauzer key ring.
Excellent.
Okay. And I got Dashboard Jesus.
Excellent.
That's a start.
I've got a Jesus too. I've got
Tis
Buddy
the
Christ.
season. This is when you whip out your
Dogma.
Jesus. Whip out your Jesus. It's Christmas.
Because Jesus didn't come here to creep you out. And I got Wallace and Gromit here too. Wallace.
You
and
guys,
Gromit.
you're off to a great start. You
Oh,
both
yeah.
are off to a tremendous start.
Any day now, I'll just take over a room and say, honey, I'm going to be putting stuff in here that's just fun kid stuff. And
But Garry,
see where
you
that
just
goes.
moved. You moved not too long ago. If I ever have to move, I'm
Okay.
in serious trouble.
I'm
It'll
telling
take
you,
forever.
you're right, because you don't believe how much you've collected over the years until you start moving stuff out, and it is crazy ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that collection, oh my God, you can't move.
No.
That's it.
I've
You're
got
gonna
right around 30,000 pieces right now. So I don't know how you pack that away. That'd be tough.
Do you have a dollar value on it that you'd like to share?
It's up there.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
My God. Now, we were talking before we went into the show here with Gregg and Cathy. Now, before we talk to them, my brother's checking in. Tim lives in California. He had a mock-up, a life-size mock-up of the space station that he got from this place that had it and was throwing it away. He disassembled it, brought it home, and then it was in a storage locker and then disappeared.
Is it the Major Matt Mason space station?
I don't know what that is, but he had a space station you could walk in.
Oh,
Do
no.
you have one? No, this one you could walk in. That's a model.
Yeah.
No, this was life-size.
You could walk through it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a space station.
Wow.
Yeah, and a couple things that led to probably the place not caring for him much. He went to the storage locker and tried to negotiate the storage of the space station, and they said, we store by weight, and he said, it's the space station, it's weightless. I think he got off on a bad foot right there, and then it disappeared months later. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
Exactly.
so
That
funny.
kind of repartee only works in groups like this that are drinking.
Of course. Of course.
So there you have that. Let's pay homage to the sponsors, and then I want to bring Gregg and Cathy in, and we're going to go dueling collectibles here, and then Ryan's going to do his thing. So there's a lot more to do here still, and we're going to give away that prize package we talked about earlier. And we already paid homage to the sponsors.
We did.
Wow.
We did. But we can do it again.
Cheers.
Thank you
Cheers.
to Bettenhouse, and thanks to all of you people who have
Yeah.
subscribed to the show, and thanks to David.
Okay, so we did that. So we could bring Gregg and Cathy in. Wow.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, guys.
Kathy, she's already casting the first, this whole competition thing. You didn't tell me there was going to be. I didn't realize Mr. Leff.
What do you have in your collection, Gregg and Cathy?
Well, this is I have a very, competitive side here. You know what I mean? Because I got, but
you have 30,000
this here. Oh, please! I've got warehouses full of stuff.
Oh,
I'm
here
like
we
David
go.
Copperfield.
Here we
You got to, Garry. You know me. Remember, I lived with my mother until I was quite old. So I mean, all this stuff. What did I have? I had a Porsche when I was 20 and a storage space full of toys. I mean, I didn't get married till I was.
Nice. A lot of
25.
arrested development here, which I'm enjoying thoroughly.
Well, I like I said, if I would have known that it was going to come to that you're supposed to stay in your house and not talk to people, I would have been perfect. I've been in therapy for 30 friggin' years to leave my friggin' house. And now it's no, don't leave. Stay home and live with your parents. I didn't know I had to do this. So yes, I've got warehouses.
And Cathy bought into it because Cathy, you're into this stuff too, right?
Exactly. We were
That's-
like, it's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, basically how
Seriously.
Bill talked about, like he's met people and they're like, oh man, I'm not gonna
don't bring that in. I'm like, bring more.
Right. I mean, Kathy's like now when she'll see something, or I because I have a warehouse with things, and then she'll go, "Do you have that?" And then
Yeah, I
it's
have
either
it.
at like a warehouse or at my mom's house. So she'll go
get it.
Yeah, which is it? Like take for instance, we're out and our friend is our friend Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster. So he's talking. He was telling us about he was in a marriage that his ex-wife sold all his stuff, all the real collectibles.
All
I
his
mean,
real
like
collectibles.
basically, he had the real Wolf
Wait,
doll.
you can't see it.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
That glare on that thing, right? The real Wolf. You see
He
that?
had that.
He had that. She sold it while he was like doing a Comic-Con,
And then you said,
so I said, well,
I have it.
I mean, this isn't the real one, but I mean, any of these collectible, there's the Wolf with the pajamas on. But again, so Kathy's like, where is it? It's a warehouse or mom's house? Where? So I think
Bring
it's at Betty's
I
house
love
because I
it.
know where everything's at. That's the
Oh my
Bill.
God.
You must like someone could say like, where's your Creature from the Black. Oh, I know where it's at. It's in the cabinet upstairs. You mean in your office?
No.
Yes. Or no. It's in the lip. I mean, you know where everything's at.
is.
So
And yet both of you found women. Every pot has a lid. This is amazing.
Yes, and this. Oh, by the way, Cathy, I've got a Creature from the Black Lagoon hand, but I play the drums and I love Buddy Rich. Oh, my dad is a drummer, and you might know him. Oh, Buddy who? Buddy Epson. I love the Beverly Hillbillies. No.
And now Bill's going to show us his collection of the Beverly Hillbillies.
There we go.
Or is that in room 6?
That's in room 6.
Yeah, of the 14-room collectibles.
Is that at your mom's house? Well, why don't you call her on the 9th call of the day? Why don't you ask her what's there? So then during the pandemic,
you made this.
I started painting. Like I have, like at the warehouse, I have models, like collective, because an action figure is, an action figure is cute. 1970, still in the box. Don't take them out. 1970, this is from an aquarium, but you don't take it out of the box. So I've got these, I had models like collecting over the years.
Long time.
So when this pandemic,
tooth over there.
I'm going to get to that because this is going to knock Leff off.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Oh, you didn't know that. But yeah, 24 inches of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, you don't get this. This is beyond an action figure. Kathy leaves me. I could actually talk to this. I mean, this is like another person in the house.
You still got 24 inches, no matter if he's there or not.
That's what I'm saying, baby. Come on. You got a fleshlight? I got that.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Hold on a second. Maybe a little bit too much of that.
All right. I love when they drink at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
It's the Buddy Rich cocktail set, and it will be available in April.
You saw
all for you for $29.95.
Now I showed you because of the Beatle craze that's going down now with everyone watching that Disney Get Back.
Yeah.
1964 Ravel Ringo.
Oh, cool. That's beautiful.
Well, there's the box.
And there's Ringo.
And there's Ringo. Look at that.
And your mother painted that, you told me?
No, my dad painted that. My mom cleaned it. My dad painted it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and it's cool. Still there. The only difference is Paul's not telling him what to do. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
roasted.
Whoa.
Roasted.
I got to ask both of you, did you watch Get Back and your thoughts?
The thoughts are it's Paul McCartney's band.
Right.
Who would have thunk it? Everyone tried to say that it was John Lennon, and that was Paul's band that he let those guys play in. I mean, I play in bands. You know who the leader is.
Right.
That guy was the leader, but talent. Ideas. But
because
Bill,
we're both like huge Beatle fans, but it's to see the how they come up with it and the process and all of it from A to Z. It was amazing.
I couldn't believe it's really Paul's band. I mean, Paul is just, and he had the idea. I mean, I'm kind of joking about it, but no, Paul would tell George what to play. He would tell Ringo what to play. And and John seemed to know what Paul wanted him to play.
Right.
But remember, he was telling him to play different.
But I found Yoko irksome. Just sitting there.
I think that's
like this. It's like move away.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure that's what he wanted her to do.
Baked into the Beatles lore. Bill,
but
your
it's annoying to see it so much.
But
Gary, I've not seen it yet. I'm going to subscribe to Disney Channel to see it. But they reshowed, I'm sure you're aware of this, the other day was the anniversary of John getting shot in New York. Right. And they played that clip from Monday Night Football where Howard Cosell keeps saying, John Lennon has been shot. John Lennon, perhaps the most famous of all the Beatles. And every time I see that clip, I say to myself, even in death, life is still a popularity contest.
Now that you're saying, but again, because we all, John Lennon was the brilliance behind it. He was kind of like the talent, but kind of like
Scottie Pippen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would they have been right? They wouldn't have been the same without each other, but it was
they weren't
Paul,
the same without each other.
But without Paul, I don't think they would have put out half the albums that they put out.
For sure.
I think he was the motivator because these other guys, especially John, and he admits it, that's why he wrote the song, I'm Only Sleeping, because he liked to sleep a lot and just hang out. And he needed somebody like Paul to push him. And that's just the way the dynamic went.
Also, after Brian Epstein died, even Paul said it. We need a father. We need a dad.
We need a dad.
They had no direction after he was dead because he was like really making them toe the line.
Yes.
Can we give Billy Preston just a little
God.
Yes.
Because if
he raised it up.
I've said it once, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
That's the fifth Beatle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was right, and he just stopped by like to say hello or something and said,
You're in the band now.
would you just play this? That's like the guy that played keyboards on Taking Care of Business with Bachman Turner Overdrive. That guy just stopped in the studio. You hear that song, it's like a big rag like you're at Shakey's Pizza. A lot of my references are from the 60s, but I'm older than I told you guys.
Wow.
I mean, I'm old. But the guy's banging on.
I've never done acid, but I assume it's kind of like this. And I'm liking it.
Everybody,
And I'm liking it. I just wow. Okay.
Okay. One last collectible because I got to put this thing away.
Okay,
What do you got?
Okay, you've seen the movie Jaws, right?
Yes.
And you guys know I like The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I like Jaws. I like Psycho. But you ever see what's his name jumps into the water? What's his name? Because Richard Dreyfuss, I don't want to say that. Matt Hooper jumps in the water, and he goes down to Ben Gardner's boat, and the head pops out.
Right.
And at the time, he's holding the tooth.
comes out with the tooth.
Oh, wow.
Comes out with the tooth. I've got the.
What?
He's got the
It's,
tooth.
it's a replica. They had.
You're kidding. Now
many.
that's obscure.
But right, that's a great white shark tooth from the filming right there. There you go.
Okay.
And remember, what's his name? The lawyer. The lawyer.
The lawyer.
The mayor goes, "Hey, you got the tooth? Oh yes, as big as a shot glass. You got the tooth? No, you didn't. You don't.
You dropped
it.
I thought you were going to put on the screen the torso that fell into the hole in the boat.
Greg, are you sure you didn't just buy a Dorito?
Yes.
You got to see the definition.
It's serrated.
got the
Look it
serrated
up
edges.
close. It's serrated. It's more
And it
than
came in a
Dorito.
box. He's
More
still
than
got
a
the
Dorito.
box too.
Look at that.
Yes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just saying that's a little bit more when we have the battle of the left. That when I come back, because we're gonna have it where it shows, because he's in his room. See, I've got a room similar, an office, which I call an office. Got a practice pad, drum set in there. So I tell Cathy, I'm doing a little work. And then I just put a recording on of tapping, and then I'm sitting I'm sitting on eBay going, my God, if I could just find the right hand from a Herman Munster doll, I'm gonna be back. But
did your mother or father paint the tooth, Greg?
this tooth is natural.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
all right.
Yes. After my 37th birthday, my dad stopped painting my models. My mother continued to clean them until I left the house. Although, look at that. Look at this. Look at the box on this Wolf doll. It's cleaner than when they made it.
Hold it up for the camera.
It's cleaner than when we got it. My mother keeps this stuff perfect.
Oh my
Clean.
God.
Clean.
Nice box.
Like Paul McCartney's grandfather. He's a clean old man.
Wow. Wow. I'd like to revisit with you guys at some point. And
We will.
I love this. And Greg
We
and
miss
Cathy,
you, Gar.
thank you. Miss you. Bill, great success with the show.
Bill, we're going to stay in touch.
Yeah, Bill, do you want to come? You said you live up in the north. You live near Des Plaines. You want to come see us in a week?
I would love to.
Put him in touch with us.
I will get you all in touch.
All right, great.
You all have to intermingle. My God, this is
You don't have a collection like that, and Potter's
don't.
not standing outside of your house. Get out of here.
I got a Schnauzer key ring. That's a start.
Yes.
Mrs. Leff, can we set up a play date?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Can
Bill come out and play?
Is Potter here again? Yeah, tell him I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm really sick.
I'm sick.
Hey, thank you guys. Happy
Thank
holidays.
you. Happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas.
Gary.
everyone.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas, everybody.
Wow. Bill Leff, Greg and Cathy. That's wild. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. Yeah, when Buddy's on Carson, I'll text Greg and say, Buddy's on Carson, you might want to watch with Cathy. And then we start doing the exchange there. All right. We should bring Ryan in, and then we'll get into your stuff, and then we'll give away the prize package. Ryan, how you doing? Unmute, my man.
What a great show.
Thank you.
And next week, the Titanic has set sail, so that was complete. So
you're in this game too. Your wife put together a Lego set of the Titanic. That's all done.
It's all done. We're going to try to get this
Lego bricks she put together by herself.
Yes, and it's all. We had a few mishaps with pieces disappearing, maybe under the couch. When you just drop them. So, but we got them all together, and it's in our office now. So I'll have more pictures next week on that.
And the Home Alone house is next.
Yes. She wanted to really get that going. The couple updates I have this week, if you're out in the holidays and someone does buy you a new car from hopefully Bettenhausen and you want to work on some vanity plates, the DMV in Wisconsin published a list of the rejected vanity plates. So they posted those. So there's some of the, top 10. I like the last one.
Let's walk through these. Let's walk through it. Number one, police.
Police.
That's not good. You can't have that because it's police.
I get, yeah.
Police. Okay. What's the second one?
Some of them I don't know. Some of them I
Bot.
What?
I'm trying to read it backwards. Yeah.
Next one's Bossy or Bossy B. I think it goes kind of like that last one, Salty.
They're pretty strict at Popo.
Yeah.
Holy
it's the
smokes,
police. I guess anything reference to police.
Okay.
I don't like them commies, that's for sure.
The next one's that like
laughing my ass off.
Okay.
There's a little USR.
Oh, wow. All right.
420 boy, that is a pot reference.
Right, got that one. WTF, we know that.
2020.
Why the face? No. Not the popo.
Not Popo. And then what's this bottom one here?
Salty
bitch.
Salty biatch. Okay.
Yep, that was my the one I liked. So if there's 182 they rejected. So I can't imagine they published the whole list, but these were the top ones for 2021. So there's a whole agency in the DMV that looks at these according to the article. So
no more Popo.
And then I had sent this to Garry if we're doing some holiday shopping and you need some self-help during the pandemic.
These are actual books.
I added that one for you, Leslie, if you want to learn about cat flexing.
Oh, cat flexing. Sure.
Learning to play with a lion's testicles.
For the cover of cat flexing.
Yeah. Cat flexing, that's a thing?
Yes.
It is now.
Yeah.
Learning to play with a lion's testicles. Okay.
All right.
How
to succeed in business
without
a penis. That's for women.
Yes.
Okay. And then
here's this
unfortunate men.
How to live with a huge penis. Okay.
So they published a whole list of books, but these were, we handpicked a few if you're looking for the last kind of holiday
stocking
shopping.
Stuffer. Yeah, stocking stuffer.
Yeah, stocking
stuffer. We also had a story this week about something going on in Wisconsin, just north of you. You and the family might want to plan a trip to the Omicron restaurant. It's getting a lot of attention these days. And rather than shying away from the whole COVID thing, they're embracing it. And they're also embracing Corona beer. So they've got a new line of t-shirts coming out saying, I got Corona at Omicron. So you might have to.
We'll have to check that. We'll have to check that out as a good distraction here.
All right. So, and you have another list. These are the.
I do.
Naughtiest cities.
And then what I really like is how they ranked them. So they went through this whole scientific process and, based on anger, jealousy, excess and vices, greed, lust, and laziness.
Number one, Las Vegas.
Number one.
No shock there. St. Louis.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Close Houston. Houston and St. Louis are very close.
Okay, and Los Angeles, Denver. Yep. Okay, 182 cities are ranked.
Yep.
And anything in where's Milwaukee?
I didn't look it up, but I didn't put it on here because it wouldn't fit. Madison, Wisconsin, in one of the categories is and the excess and vices is excess drinking. So that made it. That was a pretty clear Wisconsin, where there was a city in Alabama that was on the opposite of that, and I don't remember what. City in Alabama, but
all right. Well, there's your top 5.
So we just didn't have we didn't have enough greed or lust to get up in the top 10. But
all right, and you have a Wisconsin report in addition to all this.
No, this was it. Did this. Okay. Yeah, this was it. I just thought we'd share some of that put together. So
all right.
Otherwise, we're doing well in Waukesha. So again, thank you for all of the thoughts and kind words. So we're doing well.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Leslie, what do you have?
As I said, should we say hi to Alan?
Alan is in Maui. I think I saw on the screen he's got audio only.
I'm here. I can come in through the screen door. Watch this.
Okay. Nice sound, though.
There I am.
There he is. And you are in Maui, and you were climbing mountains and things, and you saw snow.
Yeah, if folks saw those blizzard warnings on the Big Island, I was on the Big Island the day after the blizzard, but as you can imagine, you don't see the blizzard unless you go up to the peaks. Today here on Maui, I was up on Haleakala, the volcano on Maui, and from Maui you can look back to the Big Island, and there's the snow on the peak of Mauna Loa back on the Big Island. And for bringing back my Chicago feels, I got to really experience the harshness of winds. I think I compared it for you guys to the winds on the Michigan Avenue Bridge in January. That's what it was like atop Haleakala. It was probably in the 40s with a wind chill below that.
And the road to the summit is 30 miles, but it takes 6 or 7 hours, something like that.
No. It's 30 miles, but it takes an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Then somebody's
yeah, and my aunt drives stick shift too, so I was very impressed. I mean,
Wow.
this is the second time I've been up there in the last 5 years. It's an absolute beautiful drive up there.
Well, it's Hawaii. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Don't they take bicycles up there? Isn't that maybe what's taking
you have to
extra long?
You have to share no, what takes extra long is the hairpin turns are 15 miles an hour. And you just keep winding back and forth up the mountain and back and forth down. And then the goal is to avoid the bicycles, because the hardiest ones, they're biking up the mountain, and the less hardy have taken the trailer truck to the top, where the bicycles were all released at the top, and then they come down Haleakala. And that's the summit is 10,000 feet, so that's quite a ride.
And they say to watch the sunrise is the thing.
Yeah, I've never done that, and actually, you need a reservation to be on top. And this isn't just a COVID thing. This has been true as long as I've been coming to Maui the last 5 years or so. You need a reservation to enter the park between 3 and 7 a.m. so that you take up only so much appropriate space up there. But I mean, it's I mean, you've got to get lucky in terms of cloud cover up there, because I tried to go out from my uncle's house here on Maui. He lives about 15% of the way up the mountain. We're about 1,600 feet here. You can see Science City, which is right next to the summit. That's where all those giant telescopes are. And I went outside just before you guys went on to see if I could get a shot. And just between the time we drove down and got back to the house, the cloud cover has covered over the top of Haleakala, and it's supposed to rain up there the next several days. So I got pretty lucky getting up there, since I'm
they
heading
got real
back.
problems there in the 50th state.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've been following the weather,
they've had some real shitty weather.
It was a really disastrous storm. Came through Honolulu, came through here in Maui. My aunt and uncle were without power for most of it, on and off for a day. I was fortunate with my travel plans. We missed it all. I mean, we got a little bit of rain when I was on Oahu, but I mean, I went out to Pearl Harbor earlier this week before the 7th. Went to the memorial as they were setting up for the December 7th ceremonies. I think it rained through most of them, but the day I was out at Pearl Harbor was absolutely beautiful. And I was on the Big Island, and we missed the worst of the rain, but you could tell our hotel had dryers everywhere because they were drying out the first floor of the hotel in Hilo.
Yeah, this is so rough. Once again, we need Hooter heaters in our neck of the woods.
Right. Well, I got the
you.
giant lava kind here on the Big Island. That's the summit up on the Big Island.
All right, and if you ever had your lay blown, you know what that's like.
Oh my God!
All right, Ellen, safe travels.
Right.
Talk to you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Leslie, why don't you wrap it up with your stuff?
Okay, and once again, hashtag Buddy Rich Band if you want to be in on the drawing. We'll be doing that right after this. Let's see. Like I said, we've got kind of an animal theme, not exactly like a scene out of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, but a foul-mouthed crow recently took up residence at an elementary school in Oregon. Naomi Imel is an education assistant at Allendale Elementary, and she says the crow just showed up one day, making its way around the school, pecking on doors before making himself comfortable in a 5th grade classroom. There, the bird helped itself to some snacks before showing off its language skills, saying things like, "What's up? I'm fine," and a whole lot of swear words. After several days, word began to spread about the crow. Eventually, news made its way to Daphne Colpron, whose family raised the bird since it was just a fledgling. The bird, named Cosmo, is now back home and no longer attending classes.
Rizzlety, razzlety, no. And then later somebody's eyes were pecked out.
And that's it. None of those kids have eyeballs anymore. Right. A man in Singapore is recovering from the injuries he suffered during a chance encounter with some angry otters at a botanic gardens. Graham Spencer needed lots of stitches to close more than 20 bites to his legs, buttocks, and hands after he crossed paths with a bevy of otters. They're saying like 20 otters were out for a stroll. So was he, and everything went haywire. Says Mr. Spencer, I thought I was going to die, that they were going to kill me. No word on where all these otters came from. They said they had never seen that many before.
A gang of otters with chains and all kinds of weaponry and beating the shit out of this guy. You want a piece of me? You want a piece of us? Come on.
With Spielberg's West Side Story, they're only going to be ramping up even more.
Yeah.
You sharks, you jets, you otters. And finally, let's just do one more. Police in the Falkland Islands were forced to shut down a busy route in the capital of Stanley earlier this week after two amorous sea lions decided to enjoy some carnal knowledge right smack dab in the middle of the street. The sea lions started off on the sidewalk, but steadily kind of worked their way farther and farther into the street, eventually forcing police to surround them with barricades until they finished.
Yes, the best thing to do when you watch sea lions make love, let them finish. And
Just
they're
like
beautiful
Christmas
when they make love.
Vacation.
If you've ever had an opportunity, watch sea lions make love.
It's
the best.
actually, they both look. Well, I guess they always have pleasant looks on their face, but they seemed like they were kind of digging the moment, so that's cool.
All right, happy holidays. Let's give away the prize package right now. Let's load up the computer and hit the button and see who wins all the stuff, the condom, the scarf, the tickets to see Gregg and Cathy. Let's go. We got it ready, Keith? Here we go. Hit that button. Ryan. All right, Ryan, you're going to get all that stuff. Just hit me up on my Facebook page, message me there, and give me your address, and we'll get that stuff out to you. How does that sound? All right. All right. Complimentary cannoli coming down the aisle. Take it. Take the cannoli. It's beautiful. Look at that cannoli. What about the schnauzer this weekend, Leslie?
I would have mine turned into an action figure. You just can't. Yeah, I think that would be the way to go.
That's in the atmosphere after this show. 3 in the green, gear down, flaps are down. The voice of the globe. We'll talk to you on Monday. The GarrForce has landed. Have a great weekend.
Pretty good, huh?
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce